Hello, book buddies. This is Aunt Phoebe with two more books for today. Today we're going to read two stories about the same thing, The Three Little Pigs. Have you ever read the story of The Three Little Pigs? Well, the first version is the classic version. It was originally written hundreds of years ago by the Brothers Grimm. Today, there are many modern versions of The Three Little Pigs, and the first one I'm going to read to you today is just called The Three Little Pigs. And this was adapted by Mara Alpern and illustrated by Ag Jackowska. So, even if you've heard it before, you can still listen again. Here we go. There once were three little pigs, Horace, Boris, and Percy, who lived together in a teeny tiny cottage in the forest. One day, Mommy Pig said, "You are all too big to live here, so you must go and build houses of your own. But beware the big bad wolf. Make sure your houses are safe and strong." "Who's afraid of the big bad wolf?" chuckled Horace. "Not me," giggled Boris. And so the three little pigs set off. Before long, they reached a large field. "I'll build my house right here out of straw," Horace cheered. "Straw? Are you sure?" asked Percy. "Oh, yes," Horace said. "Then it's playtime for me." And with a pet, 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 and a hip, hip, hey, Horace built a house of straw. Soon after Boris and Percy reached the edge of the woods. "I'm building my house right here out of sticks," Boris squealed excitedly. "Then I can go play with Horace." "Sticks? That wise?" asked Percy. "It's perfect," Boris said, and with a stack, 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 and a tra-la-la, Boris built a house of sticks. All afternoon, Horace and Boris laughed and danced. They had completely forgotten their mother's warning. But Percy plodded on. "I want my house to be safe and strong," he thought. Then he came to a brickyard. "This is just what I need," he said. So, day after day, Percy worked with a rumbly bump and a tip, tip, tap and a heave, heave, ho, until at last his brick house stood tall and proud. The summer passed. Then one day Horace was taking a bubble bath in his little straw house when he heard something growling. He peeked out the window and he saw two big, beady eyes. Little pig, let me come in," bellowed the wolf. "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin," yelled Horace. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down," cried the wolf. And he huffed, and he puffed, and whoosh! Horace's house blew down, down, down. Horace yelped and scurried all the way to Boris's house of sticks. "Look out," he cried, diving behind the couch. There in the window were the big, beady eyes and sharp, pointy claws. "It's the big, bad wolf," Boris chattered. Little pigs, let me come in." "No, no, no, not by the hairs on our chins," trembled Boris. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." And the wolf huffed, and he puffed, and crash! Boris's house crashed Down, down, down. Horse and Boris squealed and galloped all the way to Percy's house of bricks. Look out, they shouted. And Percy saw big, sharp, beady eyes, pointy claws, and truly terrible teeth. It's the big bad wolf, he cried. What do you think's going to happen next? Little pigs, let me come in, howled the wolf. Not by the hairs of our chins, shouted Percy. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down. And the wolf huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed. Percy's brick house stayed up, up, up. The big bad wolf couldn't believe his whiskers. I'm the big bad wolf, he howled. No tasty little pigs ever get away from me. Oh, help, shivered Horace. He's on the roof. What can we do? Asked Boris. Quick, I have an idea, whispered Percy. Yum, yum, yum. Here I come, laughed the wolf, and he slid down the chimney. Right into a giant pot of boiling water. Ow! Screamed the wolf, burning his bottom. Then he leaped up from the pot and ran away as fast as he could. After that, the three little pigs never saw the wolf again, and with the help from Percy, they built one big strong house where they could all live forever. The end. You know, I wonder if the big bad wolf was really as big and bad as he seems in this book. I wonder what his point of view is in this story. I wonder why the wolf would do that. I wonder if he really was so big and bad. Well, there's another story called The True Story of the Three Little Pigs, as told to John Skyska and illustrated by Lane Smith. Let's see what the wolf feels about this whole story. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs. At least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault we eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back in once upon a time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig. Wasn't too bright either. and he built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house out of straw? So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell in. I didn't want to just walk into someone's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed a great sneeze. Can you sneeze a great sneeze? Go ahead. And you know what? The whole darn straw house fell down. Right in the middle of the pile of straw was this first little pig. Dead as a doornail. He'd been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. I was feeling a little better. Still didn't have my sugar. I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He built his house out of sticks. I rang the bell in the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled, go away, Wolf, you can't come in. I'm shaving the hair on my chinny chin chin. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. Now, you know food will spoil if you leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full. But my cold was feeling a little better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house of bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that rude little porker answered? Get out of here, Wolf. Don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack of sugar, and he wouldn't give me even one little cup for my dear sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig! I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed again. Achoo! And then that third little pig yelled, and your old granny can go sit on a pin. Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break down the pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. The rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the two pigs I had for dinner. They figured a 6 sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound real exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all that huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. That's the real story. I was framed. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. So there you have it. The Three Little Pigs and the true story of the Three Little Pigs. Which one's your favorite? It's okay if you like them both. So you never really know the whole story. And remember, all my book buddies, you can write your own story. And if you're home and you're feeling sad or feeling bored, you too can read a book. So until next time, remember, get hooked on a book. This is Aunt Phoebe saying bye for now.